hockey skin so badly, man. That would be a day one purchase for me no matter what. Welcome back to HGC Europe. We are in the middle of a series. Misfits taking on the Playing Ducks, up 2-1 at the moment here. Hasselhoff showing up with some crazy leading plays.
Yeah, and the confidence behind his team to follow it up as well. As a Li Ming in that situation, you're like, do I want to go on there and then potentially die when my entire team has been gusted back? And the answer is very much so yes, because when you're a team like Misfits, when you're playing at this level, they've always got his back.
Yeah, after watching the replay, you could tell it was orchestrated to happen just like that. Well, Battlegrounds coming your way. What are we going to go for? Our fourth game of the Best of 5 series. The bans that have occurred, Bractus Holdout, Infernal Shrines, nope, cannot play those. Tomb of the Spider Queen was the first Battleground, Dragonshire was the second, and we just finished up on Sky Temple. We are going to Cursed Hollow for our fourth matchup of the day. And this will be a pickup here for the Misfits.
Yes, and I'm not going to make the same mistake 3 times in a row. I've learned my lesson.
We're improving here at the HGC, and we're becoming gods at figuring out how the maps are picked up. So yes, now first pick will be going over to the Playing Ducks. Obviously, they're going to be taking that route there, as they're the ones that lost out on that last match and choose to pick up their first hero. So yesterday, we saw them play a stellar Cursed Hollow setup here. They ran the Vala build for the boss control. They ran their Medivh as well. There was the steal by Sport Billy in the top right corner that ended up with 2 bosses and a curse hitting the core in the late game, which they secured the victory on.
And I think now for Playing Ducks, it might be time to bring out that Medivh. It might be time to try and make the big plays here against one of the big 3 here in HGC Europe.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind seeing that because I want to see how Misfits would handle a Medivh. Because, again, it's all about control of those portals and how you really mitigate that engage that's occurring from the opposing team. So Medivh games are such a blast to watch, I feel like, in terms of the small things. They're not the most explosive games because they just draw out fights forever, but in how the teams handle the smallest engagements can be quite a treat to watch.
Yeah, it can. So, what are they looking for? Are they going to go to ban the Zeratul for Neurok? The thing is that, you know, the more I saw the Zeratul bans, the more it kind of made sense to me because we saw Misfits run Zeratul with Neurok against Fnatic of all teams and have really good success with him. He looked super strong.
Yeah.
So, again, yep, that will be the ban.
And it felt like we saw Playing Ducks actually have trouble with Zeratul yesterday when we watched them play. So Zeratul banned out. Misfits will ban out the Tassadar. ETC the first pickup for the Playing Ducks. And now we have a 3-1 record, sadly, for the Playing Ducks
ETC.
and their beefcake of ETC.
Sorry about that, boys. That's going to be a Dahaka and Malfurion. So exactly the same pickups as previous.
Yeah, and why not? Neurok played a solid Dahaka, and you take it away from Nande, who in the first couple of games made some pretty threatening plays against the Misfits.
And, I mean, in a weird way, Dahaka and Zeratul kind of play in a very similar pattern. Like, you're looking for Brushstalkers behind your opponents. Zeratul is looking for flanks behind their opponents. You know, then it's just that Dahaka can be really in your face. So if you're good at Zeratul, chances are you're probably good with Dahaka as long as you can get your Brushstalker timing right.
Yeah, you can read the fights, you can read the isolation, you can get the engages. The Playing Ducks have yet to make an adjustment, though, on the Ragnaros. It feels like Misfits has picked up that Playing Ducks just doesn't want to pick up Ragnaros, and so they're letting it get further and further in the draft here. Is this the time that Playing Ducks finally make that play to take away the hero?
That's a very good point.
Because Misfits have obviously picked it up on it. Okay, they don't play Ragnaros. They don't ever pull him out. But the Ducks, if they want to do it, this would be their chance here to take that hero.
Yeah, and it's powerful on this map as well. But Vala and Medivh, yes, all right. So that's exactly what we wanted to see. Let's see how Sport Billy can try and turn this around. Because I think you have to go for these bold plays when you're against a team that is heavily favored. You've got a game on the board. It's 2-1. Try and push it to a game 5 with something like a Medivh. I think this could give them a small glimmer here.
Yeah, it certainly could. And looking over to Misfits, they have 2 tools to deal with this Medivh that we know they can play. They have both Diablo, and they also have Zarya. Zarya being a soft counter with that explosion zone can be great around the boss control, and they could use that. They also have Tyrael themselves here that we just saw. They have so many tools here to help with this boss type of play that we see Playing Ducks pull off. Thrall was banned out for the Playing Ducks. Makes sense. It helps out with that whole disengage mentality that Playing Ducks will play here with their Medivh, and just having a Thrall there in case the portals aren't enough is something that can help bolster that type of play style.
So I'm just looking down what else they had with that. So the Thrall ban is based on probably the fact that yesterday, when they did run Medivh on this map, yeah, they had Thrall as well. It was Valor, ETC, Thrall, and Malfurion. So they didn't really care too much about the support that's potentially going to come out, because, yeah. So Tyrael on the other side, though. I like that, because we saw that a lot of their plan was based on the fact that they actually banned Tyrael first. Yesterday. So
they ban it first, they ban it second here, and that opens up them the ability to grab those bosses. Something that is up here, though, for Misfits that they can get. They have so many options they can go. They can go for the Falstad if they want to contest these boss calls. Falstad, I feel like, has a harder time around Medivh, because if you get a Mighty Guts, they can just portal back in quickly and start the fight. So I normally wouldn't go that route, but it is great for trying to steal bosses. They move straight into Ragnaros and Muradin. So their 4th and 5th pick, they have Dahaka, Malfurion, Ragnaros, and Muradin, which means for their 5th slot, they're probably looking at damage. Tychus could be the choice for them. Also, we just saw great Li Ming. However, Li Ming is great until 16. We've talked about it. Normally, when you pick a mage into Medivh, you just have such a hard life with that reabsorption. So you normally don't want to go that route unless you think you can outplay it.
It's true, yeah. And the outplay could come in the potential of if your opponent's Medivh is trying to go for that. Still, Wave of Force will still push them back, even if they have used Force of Will on themselves. So that could be the case, because in the previous composition that they had, it was exactly the same, but the Tyrael instead of the Muradin, which is obviously Tyrael banned, so there's no way that they could do that. So Misfits could just say, hey, don't fix what isn't broken.
Playing Ducks now thinking about their 4th and 5th slot. They went Rhaegar, I believe, once yesterday with them at Medivh. So that could be the choice here. We've also seen Morales in the past. However, with Dahaka being on the opposing team now, I probably wouldn't go that route. So they actually move into Arthas and Brightwing for their composition. We did see Brightwing and Medivh for them, actually.
Yes.
It prevents the dive on the back line, and it also gives them the heals that they need, but the Medivh just gives them enough to fight through the next heals with those Force of Wills. So solid lineup for the Playing Ducks. Now the 5th slot, we need some damage here from the Misfits. What will be their choice?
Yeah, so they could go for something more punchy, like that Li Ming. They could go Sylvanas. And it just kind of comes into what was the later stages of the draft and somehow just snowballs them to victory in a similar vein to what we've seen in the past here in Europe.
I think Tychus is the obvious choice.
That's true.
With Arthas and ETC, I could see a world where Jaina's picked up,
there we go.
But there is a Tychus.
I completely forgot about him.
He's weird, man. He's like the one of those that in the first 2 slots, you're like, oh, Tychus, Tychus, Tychus. And then you get the 4th, 5th slot, and it's like, well, Tychus either got banned out or didn't get picked.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute, he's up. I guess I'll take this hero and maybe do damage to your warriors. So the draft as concluded. What are your thoughts?
I think if Playing Ducks is ever going to make a comeback in this series, now the Medivh is probably the thing to do it with.
Sure.
But Misfits is Misfits, and after game number 1, they're like, all right, no more funny business, and they're on a roll.
Yeah.
So I think that they got what they wanted, and they're probably gonna get the win.
Yeah, they're showing off their choices here. So I think I agree. Misfits leaning towards a very strong comp. I don't think we're gonna see the opposing team get too many crazy boss calls like we saw yesterday. That 5-man mosh pit boss steal was the oddest anomaly that we'll ever see probably here in the HGC. But there is a chance for them to rush bosses. However, Misfits does have the team here to, 1, scout that out, and then 2, also burn down their own bosses. So they should always have the trades in their favor, so it comes down to team fights and tributes. But what about you at home, man? Let us know. Hit us up on the Heroes Esports, the Twitter. Use the hashtag HGC. I always love hearing from you guys because you're special.
Yeah.
Every single one of you.
We haven't actually had too many tweets, really.
A lot have been run down the bottom. We've been just plowing through these series.
Maybe I've been so into the games I haven't seen your tweets.
How dare you care about video games more than the people, Claris?
Hashtag
I'm
Kyle
trying to miss the villain over here. I'm just kidding. He cares so much.
The villain.
He spends times after the shows responding to everybody when he gets a chance, man. That's how much he cares about you guys. So make sure to hit up Claris on Twitter and tell him that he smells like roses or something like that. Just some kind of compliment.
Definitely don't.
So I think I'm agreeing with you here. I think this is the win for the Misfits if Dahaka is played well here. We'll find out, though. Game number 4, Cursed Hollow. Misfits taking on the Playing Ducks. Misfits currently up 2-1.
It's a good map to potentially round out this series on, as we've seen both of these teams have some Really outstanding performances here on Cursolo, with Splendor on Malfurion. and Blumby is going to be on the Muradin. Then we have Dartmark on the Ragnaros. He seemed to have found a great comfort there. Hasuobs is on Tychus. And finally, we will have Nurok on the Dahaka. Spiky guy.
So spiky. On the far right, the Playing Ducks here, Crisplosion playing ETC Sport Billy on the Medivh, and Vala will be played by Chris. Watch those two as their coordination can be key. Nande on the Arthas, and then last but not least, we also had Brightwing up there on the top with the Wolf Joe. So let's move into it, man. Here goes the fight.
Wolf Joe. Nurok and Wolf Joe could be brothers, if you've ever seen them in real life.
I got trolled by them at the HGC Summit. They sat next to each other, and someone asked, were they brothers? And they said, yeah. We're definitely brothers. And I believed it. I believed it for 10 days. I wrote it in my notes. I was going to play it up in the matchup series. Brother versus brother. Bad blood could be here.
God.
Someone could steal a graphics card. But then I found out it was all a joke. Caldor was like, no, don't listen to that, man. You got juked. I was like, dude, I'm a North American guy. Be nice to me, man.
That's mean. It's like, I'm getting used to Europe.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn all you guys and all your play styles and all your relationships, and you go out and do that. Ugh.
I'm glad I even said it now.
I forgot how tilted I was that 2 days. Like, I was like, Jesus, man. I don't know nothing. I know nothing.
That was brilliant. Oh, fun times here at HGC Europe. This is why we're the best show on Twitch, boys.
That's right.
That's
agree with you, man. Totally agree here. So the pressure has begun in the bottom right. You normally will see this against the Medivh comp. It forces him to not have to sit there and just not do anything for a while. Nande, though, takes some damage. Sports Billy will show up with the portal. Yeah. But already, Misfits is taking one turret in almost a second.
Took the Medivh Express there, because if he hadn't have done, he would have been caught in traffic. And then, unfortunately, felt demise. But Nura trying to get the grab on towards Wolfjo. Doesn't quite get it.
The slimy tongue just does not connect with the Brightwing. That Pixie Dust giving her enough of a chance to escape. Splendor in trouble, though, taking some damage down here in the back left. Will be able to rotate away so the Playing Ducks can focus on clearing this wave.
I'm so sad trademarks are a thing, because if Dahaka could get a Yoshi skin, I think I'd be the happiest person in the world.
Did you say Yoshi?
Yoshi. Bang. You know the tongue? Bang. You don't play Mario?
No, I know. I'm used to hearing Yoshi.
Oh, well, you see, I speak what is called correct English. And
Bowser and Maria, all those heroes.
Maria? I'm not from Ireland.
Oh, man, that's awesome. No, I agree. I think that would be a wonderful skin. A little green tint. Oh, that would be fantastic. It's a skin that we all want. Well, continuing the fights back and forth here. The tribute has spawned here now at the 2-minute and 25-second time here. The Giants will be grabbed for both teams, but of course, as mentioned, the Misfits will get the advantage here with their pushing the top lane, and all members move down here for the Playing Ducks. Vala and Brightwing are actually going to sit in the middle, and Brightwing can phase shift in at any point.
All right, so a nice little denial here by Sport Billy. Again, the Medivh Express coming through to annoy Splendor on the other side. And here comes the bought time for the rest of the team to come around here. Chris and Crisplosion at the front, looking to put some damage on towards Blumby. Missed on Bolt.
Just constant back and forth. Brightwing holding her own in the top lane here, while the rest of the Playing Ducks hold on to this push. The portals now become a thing here. The soft root to hold down the members. Not enough damage, though, coming out here from the Misfits. Playing Ducks still healthy. And at any point, they can call for the Brightwing to come in. There she is, because we had the Nurok show up on the Dahaka.
Yeah, they were quite low. They have to get out of there. That's a grab on towards him, though. That's going to be a great force of will. Can they get him out with a portal? No, it doesn't look like it. First blood going over to Misfits. And maybe looking for more damage on Nande. That's a great Stormbolt.
Good catch there. That's one of the strengths there that you need against a Medivh comp. After the portal duration has finished, especially in the early game, you need to grab someone. Nurok landing that tongue on Brightwing, setting up his team for the kill, but the tribute as well, as they are now about to hit level 7, slightly in the lead here in experience towards that road to level 10.
All right, so as much as they did get value on the top wall, that was good overall by Misfits. What I like to see from good Medivh players is, the best way to describe it is causing chaos, utter chaos. Just, you know, place down those portals almost whenever you can, kind of, to just make sure that your team has as much mobility as possible, always denying the damage from coming out. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for poor little Brightwing to get out, as you said, but oh well.
Chaos and frustration are just the two words I think of when I think of Medivh. Almost murky-like, but yet way better. So Medivh really
viable.
But viable. Yeah, brings in the portals, brings in the Force of Will. It's this constant misdirection too. But if you're able to isolate that chaos and break it down, boy, does it feel good.
I have never done that as Ragnaros. What we just saw there from Darkmog, which is put the blast wave, or and on the minion and just allow it to run into a tower and do extra damage for you. That's cute. It's very, very safe.
Helps with wave clear. A lot of people don't realize you can put it there. The engagement continues here between our two aims. Possible's chasing down Nande. Chris Explosion is looking for an engagement with the root showing up a Splinter. They may be able to slow this down, but Sports Billy says no. Here's a portal, goes in for the delay. Chris in the backline, though, is in trouble as Blumby will isolate him. Blumby has a heal, but will be taken out as well. But Nurok's not done. He is looking for a kill here.
Well, that's 1-for-1. Good polymorph on Nurok. I think that he had his drag ready for Nande. Could have been a bit of damage on towards him. Sport Billy manages to go through Paul, comes back out with the Force of Will as well, and gets away from Ragnaros, who was keen to kill him off.
Good play there by Misfits also. While we saw Sport Billy go in for the delay, the rest of the team for the Misfits went to the back portal and just waited for him to escape. Now, Sport Billy did hold on to the Force of Will, but the idea behind it was that you have no more entrance after that first initial poke, which gives a tribute to the Misfits. Great control of the exit and the entrance of the portals.
All right, so Wolf Joe and Nurok going to continue this battle towards the top. It's going to be interesting to see when the next tribute actually spawns, though, of course. If it's down towards the bottom, both will eventually reinforce. It's kind of that weird game of chicken again. But I feel that Playing Ducks, it's not even a game of chicken, actually, because Playing Ducks just needs Brightwing more for the sustain down there than, say, Misfits needs an extra warrior down there. Do you kind of agree with that?
No, yeah, I agree with you. You want sustain available because you have Malfurion pumping out heals left and right on the other three members that are there, so you eventually are going to need your Brightwing. That will get mitigated when Bella gets to 13 and can do that Siping Impact, but and HGC can heal himself and so can Arthas, but it's still a thought to think about. So it's actually a clever draft to have that HGC and Arthas be able to sustain slightly until Brightwing can show up where you need to that breaking point.
All right, so Blumby taking a small bit of damage. The portal's already set up, but Darmok is almost zoning people out from using that portal. Nanda's going to take the opportunity just at the very end, though. He risked a little bit of damage, but it's very important for him to get in position here as he swings around the backside to lock down either Hasso or Blumby at the front. This is going to be a slow little game. Aw.
Aw, what a nice poem there. Roses are red, violets are blue, we love Claris, and so should you. Too darn cute. Tribute will go over to Playing Ducks as well, and they start this cute interaction as they start breaking down the boss, but Blumby sniffs it out instantly.
Very much appreciated. Thank you for the kind words, but Blumby is not having any kindness towards Chris.
Whoops.
Oh no. All right, this is just, pretend this didn't happen, avert your eyes, look away, because this is going to get bad.
Ball it down, and Misfits looking to pick up a boss here. Nande goes in for the engage. Blumby is dealing with him on the right side. There's a portal. Sportsman moves in. There's a power slide into the mosh pit. Hasso up on the side here, just breaking damage on all three members. I love how he set up that overkill to do damage to multiple members. So the Medivh Force of Will could not prevent them from getting the fight, and there is the boss taken away from the Playing Ducks. Nurok and Hasuov's looking for more. Can they get it? No. The portal pops up, but they have pressure in that top lane.
Misfits just absolutely does not care if you're going to try and take that boss, and regardless of the power of Medivh, they played that to a T, didn't lose anybody, took that boss away from them. It was an ambitious play from Playing Ducks. I don't particularly agree with it.
Especially after showing it yesterday. That's the thing, is you know Misfits did their research, and they had seen that the Playing Ducks had done multiple boss rushes twice, almost 3 times.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody in the HGC Europe, all the teams participating, watch these games. And actually, I mean, I talk to the European players avidly when they're watching the American games as well, because everybody's just scouting out everybody at this point, because it's so important. That's a lot of damage on Hasselhoff, but the sustain is there for the moment. He's going to try and dash away. No, he's not going to have enough. He did get Polymorph brought down very quickly. Medivh in the backlines as well. Trying to go, oh, jeez, so furious smash. Darkmog just rips him in half.
This now makes it a 4v4, but Chris is in control. If he can do the stutter stepping necessary here, he can work down the opposing team with the aid of his teammates. Nande gets in the front. There is a death coil, but the tongue on Arthas will land another takedown on the Lich King. And now the Misfits will get 3 tributes and get a curse pushing.
And these are the risks Playing Ducks run when they're this behind in experience. If it was 13 against 13, Medivh probably wouldn't have died there, because at level 13 he would have had the cooldown reduction on his portals, and he could have got away. But they're really in a their hand was forced, unfortunately, there for Playing Ducks, and now in a bad spot.
That they are. Darkmok and the crew take down the middle fort, and they start converting their way down to the bottom right. Getting a keep here would be the dream scenario before 10 minutes. Now, they do have a fort to pick up as well. They start pelting away there. Now, Molten Core is still available, so something to consider. They also have another option, too. If they push here, see that Playing Ducks has a great defense, they can kite backwards and start a boss at the same time.
And we do have level 30 not being the stun talent for Darkmok, so this just doesn't need it. There's really not much stun on the other side unless he gets Rain of Vengeance. And in that instance, I would say that Valor is then a little bit too close to Ragnaros, considering that Misfits has probably dictated most of the pace of these fights. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
The boss starts up, and Medivh will be the one to sniff it out. In fact, he's already on the way. Sport Billy scouting out the engagement, and with the Misfits realizing that there is a Raven floating above them, they will be forced to hold off on this push here. You never want to throw your lead there by going for that throw pit.
Yeah, and with Leyline seal up, with portal cooldown reduction, etc., now Sport Billy is in a much better spot to make these kinds of things happen. I mean, look, he's just using it for scouting now, never mind anything else. Master's Touch-wise, nowhere near complete, because Sport Billy did die previously. And, well, at least they're taking this camp away. I like that.
Yeah, they just take it away, and while a bit of a bold play, Misfits gives it up. They grab their Giants in the top left. Brightwing is still soaking in the top right for the Playing Ducks, so there will be some pressure on that keep later on if a tribute were to spawn soon. The Playing Ducks start getting cheeky here and start applying pressure to the boss in the bottom left. They're looking for a pickoff. They go for the portal on Splendor, and they catch him.
Brilliant stuff coming out there from Playing Ducks. That's exactly what they need there to take out the healer, and that's beautiful play. That's the kind of Medivh play you see from ADRD. He's scouting out frontal positions. He's saying, right, I'm about to portal. Everyone jump through. Everyone target that person. Once again, going for it. These are small changes from the Medivh play that we saw at Sport Billy yesterday compared to today that are really going to make him a great Medivh player.
Will we have the engage on this boss here? Blumby sets up for it, but will not be able to get him. The stun from Chris Explosion will allow the Playing Ducks to take away the boss. We did have a Nurok on the Dahaki come in late there, and unfortunately they could not contest it. The Leyline seal is dodged by Darkmok, and now the Playing Ducks are looking for more as Blumby and Nurok are chasing them down. Here's Splendor, though, to show up.
Putting on pressure. The Sport Billy goes through the portal there to make sure he's away from Darkmok for the moment. Chris up on the top right, though, gonna get picked off maybe. That was a great force of will. Medivh ends up falling down. Chris is going to go down as well. Everybody is being punished here for going as far as they did. Didn't have level 16 talents either. Misfits rally, and Misfits come back and break the back of Playing Ducks.
Massive plays from Splendor on the back line too. The Twilight Dream into the kill on Medivh, and also Chris on the Vala. Wonderful play by him in the back left. His positioning and his coordination with his teammates were phenomenal. Nice job there from Splendor. At the same time, the Giants took the keep in the top right, and so now one keep is down here for the Playing Ducks. Misfits have the pressure, and they're going for boss.
And to a certain degree, those numbers there, 4-0 for Malfurion over Medivh, don't even surprise me too much, because he has roots to kind of welcome anybody coming through portals, because he has Twilight Dream to stop Medivh from casting anything, the slippery guy that he is right next to him if he goes any close to Malfurion. So I think Malfurion is a pretty good response to the overall Medivh style.
Yeah, gotta agree with you, and we see it happen here. The stats aren't lying. Although a small sample size, it is still a sample size to consider why it could be so strong. Leyline Seal connects with 3 members, Blumby and Splendor on the back right. The stun on the Chris Explosion here, so he can't power slide and mosh pit in, low on HP.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they actually lose somebody there, that Sulfura Smash doesn't connect, but they could have just lost right there and then, because this boss is pushing on towards core. This keep is already down. Medivh's gone, and this could be Misfits quite easily pushing on for the victory.
Misfits are moving in. I believe Molten Core is still down for slightly longer here, but Chris Explosion goes in for the engage. Darkmok walks into the dance era. 4-man mosh pit, but it is enough? No, it is not enough, as HGC is burned to victory. There's the Molten Core being available. Molten swing into the Runic Blast. Brightwing dispatched of as well, and Misfits keep moving forward here for the core. They are looking to cinch this series here with a 3-1 victory, 30%, 20% down to 5, and that is going to be game over. Misfits win 3-1.
Darkmark even got himself a little kill on Arthas there towards the bottom left-hand corner while the core was being whirled away out. So really good stuff there by Misfits, taking the victory 3-1. And I mean, across those last 3 maps, they showed pretty strong command in the position that we're in.
Yeah, they did. They also got an understanding of what exactly the Playful Ducks were trying to pull off on that map. The great invade on the boss in the top right corner where the 2 members were grabbing it were helpful. Playing Ducks had moments of glory there, though. The Medivh play in the bottom left to get the pick on Splendor into the boss takedown. It just seems like they got a little too greedy going for more, and they got pinched between that fort and the Ragnarok setup, and then Splendor coming in for the cleanup. Just a great comeback here for both teams as they kind of swung back and forth.
Yeah, I think, again, for the Playing Ducks, especially on that Cursed Hollow game, I did like the Medivh pickup. I think it was good for them to try and make something happen. They started working in that kind of pounce from Medivh portal into trying to find kills a little later on into the game, which certainly had power against that Malfurion pickoff, but maybe a little too late overall.
Yeah, they were obviously waiting for the portal duration. So they have the escape because you go on for that play. But yeah, I think I would love to see it more often, especially in the early game, because it can be surprising. It really can. And you can also kind of decide the fight after you throw down the portal because it gives vision too. So a lot of things to think about. But obviously, Sport Billy, a great Medivh player. Playful Ducks, I think out of that series, I walk away expecting a 3-0, but seeing the 3-1 and how well they compose themselves, even though it was a 3-1 overall, I'm more excited to see more Playful Ducks in the future. Oh, do we have Blumby? Blumby, hello, do you hear us?
Hello, I hear you.
There he is. First off, it's good to talk to you again, man. We talked to you the other day. Congratulations on your victory against the Playful Ducks. So they actually showed a little bit more spice there. I want to know what was going through your guys' head in game number 1 with the Chromie second pick. Did it just not work out for you guys, or did their game plan just kind of throw you guys off the rails?
I mean, we had a game plan. It just seemed they were prepared for that. I guess they scrimped against that comp and they just found a really good counter to it, and that's what happened basically.
Gotcha. So a bit of I guess, live out the life and learn a little bit from there. Claris, you got any questions here from Blumby?
A lot of focus on the Dahaka, which was kind of cool to see. Obviously, did you expect at all during the draft Playing Ducks to ever pick up Ragnaros early, or did you just kind of think that we don't care if they were going to pick it up early?
From the past games they played, I think we were just prioritizing the rag lower overall, because we just knew they don't prioritize it that high. So we thought we can get away with not picking rag early or banning him. We can just get him later. And even if they ban it, they will waste a ban on it and we were fine. I think we were not really scared because I think we by now learned how to play against it. So basically, if you presses D, just run and just get out as fast as you can. And that's just basically how you play.
And a follow-up question is Nerox Zeratul that scary?
Yep.
Yes.
I just want to talk to you. Before we actually came into the HGC, at the HGC Summit, I got the chance to interview you guys, and the number one thing all of you stated was that we just want to make it to the clashes. It's the biggest deal for us. You guys are well on your way to getting towards the clashes here now with the high standing that you have. Expert seems to be floating on the side, but with your matchup next Saturday against Synergy, do you think you have a very strong chance of actually landing and getting in that clash?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have a good start into this split, and I definitely think we're going to qualify for Katowice.
Is there anyone that kind of stands in your way that you guys are scared of?
I mean, there is the contest for the first spot, I guess. I think the most likely it's us or Expert for the first spot, as we beat Fnatic and Dig. Yeah, I don't know. We will just see when we play them. I think in 2 or 3 weeks we play against Expert, and then we will just see who is the stronger team right now, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations to your team. Any major shout-outs for the ending of this interview?
Thanks. Shout-outs to my team. We played well besides the first game. I guess we got outdrafted, and shout-outs to Misfits as well. Thanks for sponsoring, and see you.
And shout-out to Refrigerator, man. Keeping the cold beverages there in the back. Thank you so much, Blumby, for being an awesome guy. And, of course, congratulations to the Misfits and then moving forward. All right, so that is going to do it for today for HGC Europe. Great 2 matches overall. Anything in particular stand out for you?
the results went kind of as we expected, which is nice to see. You know, the favorites being the favorites for a reason, etc. Some wild drafts here and there. As I say, it's nice to kind of get some of the thoughts on how they were looking at the Chromie picks, and then seeing that Playing Ducks were so prepared for that. So, but again, I'm expecting good things from Playing Ducks in the future, and I'm still expecting good things from Tricked Esports in the future, going on through the next weeks.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. We had a lot of great stuff today. In fact, let's take a look at some of the really awesome plays that we saw from our teams throughout these matches. So here is a match with the wonderful Misfits going on this boss call here. Really great call from the Playful Ducks, and their setup and coordination was just absolutely wonderful. That was actually very close to a boss steal for the Misfits, going in there with a 4v5 because they just picked off Nande. It was actually a 4v4, but still, great overall. But this was the highlight of the day here for me. The Mighty Gus and Sport Billy in the bottom right, but the awareness to realize that they were going for that Mighty Gus. He blinks in, holds it, the follow-up from Blumby into the Sanctification, and that's a boss stolen.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful stuff. And Hasselhoff was very aware that the Gus was going to come out. He positioned himself so that everyone wouldn't get gusted, as you mentioned. Now this one, yeah, just looking for that portal straight on over as Malfurion rotates. Just such quick reactions coming out from Playing Ducks, and that's why it's one reason why I see them doing, you know, well in the later weeks.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, but the Playful Ducks talked about this idea of we're growing and learning as a team, and you can see it, the actual evidence here, that they are working as a team and going all in on these calls that we see. The Medivh really kind of plays towards that element, that play style of moving in and getting those pickoffs, and they are just learning so much, man. They are really growing as a team for us to watch here in the HGC Europe, and I can't wait for more matches from them.
Yeah, same here.
So again, our standings is fantastic for all of our teams. We have the Misfits at the very top, which is so cool to see from them. Also, Expert following in right afterwards. I'm just going to be watching more and more. I can't wait for that matchup in the next couple of weeks. But let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the afternoon. What do you have coming your way? We had the wonderful North America guest happening that we saw. Tempo Storm and B-Step will be in a few hours. Now, if you are looking for VODs to watch, check out Team Dignitas and Tricked Esports that happened this morning. Dignitas walked away with a 3-0, really solidifying them as one of the top 3 teams here in Europe, and they got themselves up in the standings. Misfits and Playing Ducks just finished. Great series overall. Great to see some mix-ups there. Saw Chromie action in that, and of course the Playing Ducks showing some life. Later on today, we will have the wonderful North American casters, Gillyweed and Dread, bringing you Team Niventic and No Tomorrow, Tempo Storm and B-Step facing off. So stay tuned if you would like to see that action occurring, as they'll, of course, be here to show you all the wonderful fighting happening over in North America.
Yeah, B-Step, I want to see more of that B-Stepping where one guy's halving in the middle and everyone's beat. I love that stuff.
My challenge, actually, to B-Step is that if they get that 5-man mosh pit ever again, they need to do that dance they do at the intro, but after they get the 5-man wipe. If they pull that off, they'll become the coolest team in North America, officially stated by Trixler. So if you can pull it off after a fight, you got this. I believe in you guys.
Very cool.
Can you actually imagine just like getting a clean wipe and then they just all stop and B-step and do the full rotation?
That's kind of one of those things where I know you probably wanted it after the first 5-man mosh. It's like one of those things where you're like, you've had an argument with someone and then you like walk away and then later on you think of something really funny to say.
I could have had that.
Like, oh God, I could have
made the play.
Yeah.
Well, here is the updated standings for this week here in the HGC Europe and where all our teams are currently residing within the top 8. In the top very front, we're going to be having Misfits with the score of, I believe it's a 3-0 here.
3-0.
Yep, and then Expert with the 2-3-0 as well. So currently tied up, and they'll be moving in, and then we have the follow-up as we go down the roster. Unfortunately, poor Tricked Esports down there at the very bottom with a 0-3.
Yep.
Sad to hear that from them, but you know we'll keep an eye on them. You keep talking about them; they definitely have the skill to move up. You know.
Yeah, they'll make it up. I think that there's some good matchups coming for them down the line. So I definitely will see some victories on their side.
All right, so here it is for you at home to actually see it. So Misfits is 3-0, Team Expert is 2-0, Dignitas is 2-1, Fnatic 1-1 right now, and then we continue to go down the line there. Synergy